G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Dry Arabia. Arabia. Here on Dry Arabia to witness two Conqueror 3 players take on each other in preparation for EGC TV's brand new tournament. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. There is a new tournament on the sunrise, I guess, I guess the sunrise, on the horizon. Let's go with that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce our players spawning in on the north side of the map in the color purple, playing as the Juicy Legacy. We've got Give You Anxiety. And on the south side of the map, playing in the color green as the Japanese, we've got Fei-chan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a caster game. It is lovely to have your company. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out with the traction of the videos. Let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about this because we've got ourselves a fun matchup here. Of course, a civilization on the south side, the Japanese, that just love to try and get those fast castles in. And the Juicy Legacy, a civilization that's very flexible. Typically, when you think of the Juicy Legacy, you're thinking Meditation Gardens, you're thinking Song Dynasty, you're thinking, I'm going to have a whole lot of town centers and make a whole bunch of villages. But I'll tell you something right now. If there's one thing Give You Anxiety doesn't like to do, it's make villages. Does not like it, or at least from secondary town centers. He's pretty good at making villages when it comes to the primary town center, but those secondary town centers, it's very rare that we actually see him go for it. So in today's game, I've got a sneaky suspicion that we're going to be seeing ourselves a very aggressive Give You Anxiety, always looking to give anxiety to his opponent. Now, speaking of anxiety, you guys know, over the years, I've had my ups, I've had my downs, but sometimes you wake up in the morning, and even if you're in a relatively good state of mind, you still wake up in a bad mood. And today that was me. I woke up in a bad mood. And I tell you what, my wife said, hey, let's go for a walk, do some gardening. And in my head, I was like, nah, not today, mate. Not today. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. But I still did it. And you know what? I came back home after that walk, did some gardening out the front. And I tell you what, mate, I felt so damn good. I felt so damn good. I called my mum and I said, I feel great today. Isn't that crazy how you can go from waking up on the wrong side of the bed? You know, when I remember seeing those memes, it's like, you know, someone's depressed and they're like, have you tried exercising? Have you tried like going outside? And it's like, come on. But it actually works. It's wild. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk a little bit about what we got going on down here. Fei, of course, going to be keeping these three villages here on gold. Expect to see that for the duration of, the next couple of minutes. One thing that I'd be looking for Fei is looking to get that outpost down on the gold vein. Really important, just because we want to secure this gold. And up against the Juicy Legacy, just a horseman or even a Jukunu can ruin your day, can rain on your parade. So getting that tower down on the gold really helps out. One of the things to note is we're not going to be having that second TC in, because if we were, I can almost guarantee that we would have seen an early mining camp or forge on the stone outcropping. Now, on the other side of the map, we do begin to see our landmark coming through from Give You Anxiety. It's going to be the Meditation Gardens. It's going to be a very safe Meditation Gardens, and I've got to say, GUA, I really hope this one is getting 60 gold per minute, because, or rather 50 gold, because it's been nerfed. I really hope you're picking up this second gold vein, because if you're not, you're giving me anxiety, and I'm going to have to issue a citation if it's not the case. So we'll be checking on that a little bit later. Where was the best spot he could have gone for? I think that's definitely a good spot. You could probably look for this spot over here to pick up the stone, because stone's probably a bit more valuable than gold, I would argue, especially playing as the Juicy Legacy, just because you've got access to hand cannon slits, and hand cannon slits are by far the best upgrade when it comes to, you know, arrow slits versus hand cannon slits. You'd always take the hand cannon slits. They're just superior. But on the south side of the map, we do now have the Kura Storehouse coming up. Looks very well positioned here by Fei. So she's done a great job at analyzing exactly where this needs to go, looking to put it on the wood line as well, so that she won't need to throw down that. Oh, look at this. Oh, Fei. She's actually doing it. This is so smart. This is something that was developed by Maito very early on. For anyone who doesn't know Maito, quite a good gamer, but also a developer for Age of Empires. And I remember one of the first games I watched in the beta, he did this. What he actually did was he surrounded the entire Kura Storehouse with this wall, and then what he was utilizing the wood that was coming out from it. But you can see what Fei's going to be doing is walling off this top side of the Kura Storehouse, and then that means the first farm that gets generated will be underneath her town center. How smart is this? This is actually Gigabrain stuff, because I looked at this and I said, well, she's probably just walling it off to get the wood in, which makes sense. But no, it's better than that. She gets a really good position on the backside of her town center, away from that front side where she would want it for that. And look at that. Oh my God. I tell you what, that is absolutely marvelous. How good is that? Seriously? If you are not doing this as the Japanese, you should start doing this as the Japanese. Now, you'd only do this because remember that whenever your Kura storehouse spawns, it always starts spawning in your farms at the 9 o'clock position, and then it will work its way around from the 9 to the 10, 11, 12, and then around the full clock. So if you put that that palisade wall down from the 9 o'clock position up to around the 11 o'clock, or in this case to the 12 o'clock, it's just going to start spawning in on the 1 o'clock. Now, you want to know the great thing about this? When Faye is ready for these farms to come through, all she's going to do is delete the wall. And the best part is it's not even a delete. It's actually a cancellation, which means you get a full refund of the wood. Beautiful stuff, Faye. Absolutely love it. We do see the outpost is being thrown down here on the gold. One thing to always be cautious of is just the possibility of an outpost coming in over on this side here. No arrow slits through just yet, but Faye technically can afford them. Keep that in mind. She does get that passive stone generation coming through. And look at GUA. No real surprise here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Spear Rush. Of all the things, GUA is opening up with a spear. Oh my lord, GUA. 6 minutes into a battering ram. He is very cognizant of what the Japanese are up to. The fact that they might be thinking about going into the Castle Age, wanting to prevent all of that gold from being gathered up, and GUA is looking to get out here very early. One of the things that you could see as a response from Faye is just to bring a lot of villagers out and then use those villagers to actually siege down the battering ram. So maybe bringing out up to 10 villagers over on the gold could be smart. Now let's quickly check on this meditation gardens. Oh, GUA. I'm furious, GUA. I'm fuming right now. GUA, we are going to have a talk about this later. Wow. If that is not a macro citation, I don't know what is. I will call the macro police. You can catch more macro police moments over on the Patreon. If you want to improve, make sure you check it out. Links in the description. Lots of coaching content down there. Yeah, for the moment though, I tell you what, GUA, we're gonna have to recommend some coaching for you as more villagers look to join out here. They're gonna jump inside the outpost. He's gonna try and hit the villager, or try and hit the spearman. Bit of a repair coming in on the other side. Spears looking to surround the villagers. Will be able to find it, but it looks like the battering ram remains pretty strong, pretty hardy at this point in time. Second spearman about to be focused down. The repairs coming through. He's gonna have to run villagers. I don't think it's happening. You're gonna have to evacuate the dance floor, and indeed, that is what happens. Another villager does go down, or one villager goes down. So now Faye, after losing the first gold, that is how quick she is. I gotta say, Faye, you are playing well today. I'm gonna give you that. I'm liking Faye's moves already this early on. That is impressive to see. And the fact that she stuck to it and committed it that hard, where she lost the villager and she brought villagers, like she didn't just evacuate. So GUA, obviously, you know, he's sitting here, he's thinking to himself, all right, yeah, that one, yep, we solved that problem. Now Faye is stuck. There's no way she's getting Castle Age at all. She's gonna have, I mean, she's got enough gold in the bank to do it. So GUA knows that. She will get through. But when you see this many spears opening up as well, it means you don't want to go into mounted samurai, right? Like 100%, there is no way Faye is thinking to herself, I'm going to go for a stable here. It's got to be a barracks. It's got to be samurai. But look at this. The archery range is going to be thrown down, and this gets spotted out by GUA. He knows that what she's up to. You can see that with the floating gate right next to it, we could potentially see the archery range being buffed up by that. And the best part is that the gold over on this side of the map is not even spotted by GUA. He has no idea that there are villagers there, let alone that there's gold there. All right, let's check in with Faye. The age up about to come through here. I'm loving this positioning from her. The fact that she's just leaving this for now means that the Kura storehouse will actually just generate wood instead, because you can see she's not going to be able to use these farms anyway. So you might as well just keep it on wood. So in 4 seconds, it should be turning into an absolute behemoth of wood production. There you go, 38 wood a minute coming in. All right, villagers moving forward. Battering ram. Gonna get caught out of position. The age up's through, and it's thrown straight in, and he's... Look at this. Faye's going into Onimusha. Onimusha, of course, is the crossbow unit. This is particularly curious because the Juicy Legacy have access to a heavy armored unit, but it is the Palace Guard, and there is one unit that GUA is not making at this stage in the Feudal Age. It is, of course, the Palace Guard. So how GUA goes about dealing with this, we'll have to wait and see, but keep in mind, the Jukunu should be very effective against this. It's interesting that Faye opts to go into the Onimusha rather than going into just the Archer, right? Like, the Archer would have been wonderful in this situation because right now the Onimusha is going to get absolutely obliterated by these Yukonu. The one thing they do have going for them is they've got the extra little bit of range. It might not seem like a lot, but one range is enough to just keep you safe. So I think that that's going to be quite strong, especially considered that we've got the Shinto priest here to offer a little bit of healing, and you can see why now we don't go for the Onimusha in this situation, but Faye's still going to be looking to try and pick off a couple of Jukunu here. Has the +1 ranged armor. Might have to think about moving into +2 ranged armor. Indeed. No, it's just going to be +1 attack for the moment. Nice little job. Needs to change the formation here. Switch it over to the line formation, just so you've got a couple more shots off before getting these units to the front. You can see him slowly being baited out. GUA really sticking to it and throwing that Onimusha just down so quickly. I think Faye might have to head back to the drawing board here. Going to be moving into Kaburaya Whistling Arrow, which increases movement speed slightly, but up against the Jukuno, I don't know if movement speed is going to be the be-all and end-all here, but speaking of be-all and end-all, Faye now going to be population blocked by quite a bit. Farmhouse is going up on the top side. Might need to throw a second one down. We're going to see that battering ram under pressure. A lot of vills being pulled. That's 17 villagers. None of them being able to really connect there. Only a handful maybe making it. We do now start to see that storehouse will potentially be opened up here, villagers. Once again, GUA pulling back. Beautiful timing. Spears together with the Jukunu. And Scout will go down, which is going to prevent quite a bit of line of sight coming through here. Villagers underneath. More units being rallied in. GUA just bringing those units across the map. We'll check in quickly with his production. He's got 4 on the front side. That's going to be it for now. But that's all he needs as long as he's got Imperial officials out there. Battering ram under pressure here. Not paying attention. He's going to lose it. He's going to lose it. There's no way there's no way he keeps it alive here. Military just way too far away. 33 health, 31 health. Oh, you're too low at this point. Whistling Arrow has gone through, so a little bit of extra movement speed. Is it extra movement speed? Yeah, movement speed. Movement speed for 10 seconds. Now, one of the saving graces about the Onimusha here is you've got movement speed. Movement speed enables you to get over to the reinforcement line and then quickly come back and defend. And now you can see that range can be utilized here just to pick off the Jukunu. The Jukunu are the main threat here. Obviously, the Spearmen are a threat if they ever get close, but it's just not going to be the case. And now pulling back the Onimusha, we can still see +1 is through. Still no +2 just yet coming through from Faye. She doesn't really have the gold to afford it. We'll switch it over to income per minute. Only 288 gold a minute. She'd have to stop her production for a full minute if she wanted to try and get +2 in. But that battering ram will finally go down as Faye has should manage to take it out. You can see the, there's a fair few villagers down there. Outpost is coming up on the front line here as well. Faye just sticking it out with the Onimusha for now. So far, I'm gonna be honest, I'm impressed with Faye's play. The fact that she has played an opening so well, but then going in with an Onimusha, which is typically not considered a strong unit against the Jukunu. In fact, if I see my opponent making Onimusha and I'm making Jukunu, I am so happy. I am so happy because I know that every single trade I have is just going to be a lovely trade. And you can see right now GUA pushing forward. Even he just gets a little bit of damage. He is super duper happy with that. And he's just going to keep on pumping. Let's check in with GUA and see how he's doing behind this. Imperial officials just supervising up the mill. Another barracks going to come down. Pretty decent macro here. A lot of villagers quite far away though. That's going to be another citation. GUA with 2 citations in the same game from the macro police. Keep in mind, he is a Conqueror 3 player and one of the better ones as well. I think sitting at about 18, 1900. Now going to mix in Palace Guards against ranged crossbowmen. GUA. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, GUA. No, no, no. GUA. Poor little Palace Guard. Very quickly. GUA. We're going to have a chat about this afterwards. That is for sure. The poor man. Oh, geez Louise. Battering ram under pressure on this front side. Doing a decent job here of taking down the farmhouses. Expect to see more. Where are those Shinto priests? The second one, it's been thrown. The Yorishiro has been thrown into the town center. Where's the third one? It's in the forge on the backside. Another outpost coming up here on that back position there. GUA looking to try and take control. We're right on board with him as more and more outposts are coming up. Look at this. Faye's going to spot it, though. You can see the split of the villagers here. I'm not sure. Oh, she's throwing a wall up. That's what that is. That's why the villagers are split in that way. The 4th Yorishiro about to be thrown down in the next minute. Even if you lose, or even if she loses the landmark, she's not going to be too fussed. Behind the scenes, outpost does get cancelled as the Onimusha do manage to clean it up. Second relic on the way through here for Faye. Walls are coming in. She's got that gold on the south side. GUA not really contesting it. In fact, got 2 golds over on that southwestern side. Onimusha continuing to fire off at the battering ram, and slowly but steadily, GUA is putting on the hurt. Second landmark under threat here on the front, or technically it's the third landmark under threat. The Zhukunu slowly but steadily whittling down the health of that landmark. Battering ram just going to be heading over to do a little bit of wall control, crowd control, but except with walls. I'd love to see a couple more villagers on goal just to get a couple of these upgrades through. Of course, Faye struggling. She has managed to pick up both of the Feudal and the Dark Age wheelbarrow upgrades for herself. Still yet to see specialized pick. And now, one of the things to note is Faye doesn't actually have that line formation running. The line formation allows that front line to have a little bit more shots at the same length of distance. But now, beautiful micro coming through. Faye keeping majority of her units alive. She's done a great job here. And look at this, just constantly spamming Onimusha. Deletes that wall on the top side. All of the farms have now spawned in. But look at this, battering ram going to be opening up that west side. Faye under pressure. You can feel just how much pressure she's under at this stage of the game. 15 minutes through. She's not had a second to breathe. GUA has 100% been giving her anxiety this game. 100%. There's no two ways about it. But she's managed it well. Only one worker has been lost so far in this game. GUA only taking out 960 value this game. So I suspect that's only a handful of Onimusha. But now onto the south side, more Onimusha are looking to try and deal with this threat. And a second villager has been lost in the fray somewhere. Looks like she might have to give up that top side as the floating gate is now starting to burn. Yoroshiro's starting to be taken out. We've lost the first one. Second one, not sure where it is. More villagers on the wood line. And she's really starting to feel the burn now. GUA giving anxiety over to Faye, almost a certainty. Another outpost thrown down on this south side. Another villager coming in. Look at the vills on this south. She's in trouble. You can start to feel it. And Onimusha does get picked up. There's the other Yorishiro. It's in the backside. Very, very cheeky. Villagers looking to try and evacuate. She might have to commit to this. The Zhukunu are in position to start taking out villagers. Does GUA choose? Which way are you going to go, GUA? The villagers or the Onimusha? If you take out the Onimusha, there's the chance that maybe you keep enough alive where you could potentially look to take out the villagers behind. And now reinforcements will come through. GUA over on that west wall. Outpost is up. It's got the fortifications through, and now jumping inside are those Zhukunu. You could see that Faye is just looking to clean them up while she can. Meanwhile, more villagers do start to go down. Palace guards looking to pick off a couple. We'll be able to find it. More vills looking to join the party, but the outpost has got that extra fire armor now that it's got that slight little bit of extra health. It's only an extra 1,000 health, Drongo. Not a big deal. Villagers under pressure. Emplacement is now through. Villagers going to get taken out. She's already lost 11, 12. GUA taking out plenty of villagers this game, but the push has stopped with regard to those outposts. More palace guards continue to come through. It looks like she might be holding it, but going to lose a lot of villagers in here. You can see just how many are going down. That's 15, more than a handful, that's for sure. 3 handfuls now, entering my 4th hand. There we go. There's the 4th hand now starting to count. I'm going to need to borrow hands from my wife. But look at this. Look at this. A sneaky second TC in the... Where did the units go? I thought there were 5 units inside. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy. Look at this. Immediately, Faye realizes, I've lost a lot of villagers. So what do I need to do? I need to get back up on the horse, and that's exactly what she looks to do now. Keep in mind, on top of that, she's also got the floating gates, Yoroshiros, that will inevitably and eventually join this second town center and look to boost her villager count over the top of GUA's. On the other side of the map, GUA has been one town center this whole time. And keep in mind, Chinese Song Dynasty is different from the Zhuxi Legacy Song Dynasty. If GUA was in Song Dynasty all this time as the Chinese, he'd have a lot more villagers than what he's got. But he hasn't been in Song Dynasty and is not playing the Chinese, which means his villager count would be where you'd expect it to be on 1 TC. But now the Onimusha are looking to join the center of the map. He's looking to try and defend up against these Onimusha. Fei-chan wanting to try and take some map control, doing a great job with the micro here. Beautiful control. And still not utilizing that line formation, just instead keeping them in a nice big thick group. Will look to run up the reinforcement line. One of the scary things about this cavalry is you just run up the reinforcement line, just happily one-shotting all these units. You can see exactly as she's doing right there, very nicely microed. Not losing too many of the Onimusha, 1 or 2 going down, but taking down plenty of reinforcements there from GUA. She's made her way back across the map, and have a look at this. GUA are going to have to make a bit of a scramble for the outposts. Will be successful in it. Floating gate about to be coming back up. Only 1 villager on it. Will take its time. Nice little pick off. Another one going down there. Outpost on the backside. Plenty of villagers back here. GUA looking for Castle Age. She's got plenty of resources in the bank here. What does he do? How does he deal with this? This is, you know, normally you'd be saying, okay, well, Yoroshiro's together. You're going to be expecting to see cavalry out, but you don't expect it to be ranged cavalry. So the Zhuge typically are going to be fine, but GUA has made a huge mistake. Can you recognize what it is? It's a defensive one. Yes, that is exactly right. He has not walled. If you fail to wall, you wall to fail. It's I mean, I'm repurposing an old quote right there, so you'll have to bear with me. It's if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And GUA here has, you know, changed the words around a little bit here. He is not walled at all. Not a single wall comes up inside the base of GUA, and he's really committing to this whole no-wall challenge that's happening right now, and he has been a proponent of the no-wall challenge for many a year. I remember casting Age of Empires 3 games back in the day. The one particular game GUA played, I remember, was on Yucatan in Age of Empires 3 up against, I want to say it was the Crab God, and it was like a 90-minute game, and GUA just never made a wall, and he needed walls, but he just never made them. And it's just one of those cases where GUA, you got to wall here. You got to wall here. You can't be dealing with your opponent's cavalry this way. Unless you're going to start making horsemen. Then, okay, I can accept it, all right? The horsemen will deal effectively with it. But GUA about to click up, probably going to be moving into the Mount Montlu Academy. And indeed, he is definitely the right call here, as all 5 relics have been taken off the map by Faye. She's done a wonderful job of cleaning up relics, and now looking to try and keep her opponent. Oh, look at this. More villagers going to start going down. GUA's lost 8 so far, but you're going to start racking that number up. But have a look. It could be a bait from the other side as GUA spreads out the Zhuge into every corner of the map. GUA, he realizes, you know what we can do right here? We're going to do it. We might lose a couple of villagers, but I tell you what, we're absolutely fine with it, because once the Zhuge manage to make a connection, that's going to be it. Closing out all of those Onimusha. But Faye still has plenty of Onimusha on the map. 17 of the best, the world's best crossbowmen now making their way to the north side of the map. And behind this, you know exactly what is happening. Faye is moving into the Mounted Samurai. One of the strongest raiding units in the game. Simply because it can absorb a single shot. And just remember, when you're up against the Chinese, a single shot is a lot more powerful, because it's that hand cannon slit. So you get a lot more value from those deflective armor bonuses, I guess is probably the best way to say it. 3rd TC, now up for Faye. She hasn't thrown in the Yoroshiro into that 3rd TC just yet. On the top side, she is repelled. Let's check and see if we can spot where they are. 1, 2. 3rd one in the back. 4th one probably in a forge somewhere. No. Looking. Drongo looking. I don't see it. I might be blind. We'll have to check in later. We will find it. Was it up here? No, it wasn't there. Does she not have a 4th Yoroshiro? I don't see it. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, because technically this one doesn't have a charge. I don't know. You know what? This is going to be one for you guys. You guys tell me, because we've seen it. We've 100% seen it. The question is, where is it? Where is it, Drongo? I'm looking. I gotta look. Okay, I'm gonna check every building. Check every building, Drongo. Every single building. Okay, not there. Not in the town center. Not in the lumber camp. It's on the archery range there. It's not on any of the 4th town center, Faye Chan! Jeez Louise. Holy moly. Okay, all right, now we're talking. She is getting serious about her economy. I like to see this. Now, Great Britain, if we can just see the same thing from you. After Brexit, I just read a report about you guys. Things are not going well for you over there. Maybe reconsider joining the Union. Perhaps. Just an option for you. But, you know, that's one of the awkward things about Brexit. Like, now that it's happened, can you go back? Like, what if you guys went back? There's a part of me that thinks the European Union would just be like, no, you're not welcome. You're not welcome. You left. That's it. You cheated on me, and now you're done. That's it. But I don't think. I think the European Union's one of those things where it's very welcoming. You know, you could go back and say, European Union, I made the wrong choice. I'm sorry. Can I have some free trade agreements? I'm sick of lining up at the airports. I'm just trying to go on my holiday to Spain, and I gotta wait. I gotta wait at the bloody airport. It's terrible. Like a, I was gonna say something like a foreigner. It's like, yeah. Anyway, I did. There was some, you know, how Texas is always talking about seceding. I read some like, I guess it's, oh no, GUA cleaning house right now. Have a look at this. Faye not paying attention. Losing all of the Onimusha. Oh god, yeah. Hey, jeez, GUA picks up a nice little donation of 20 Onimusha right there. Far out. Talk about evening up the game. The one thing that concerns me, though, is Faye's on 4 TC, and GUA is just chilling out on that north side of the map. He is not interested at all in putting down additional town centers. He's like, you know what, Drongo, I got 1 TC. Do you really need more than 1 TC? I got 3 landmarks. That counts. Anyway, I was reading, it was like you know, in the event that Texas secedes, like, these will be the tweets, and it will be like, you know, people from Texas complaining about having to use their passport to cross the border into the United States, that sort of thing. And it's funny how it all just comes down to the little inconveniences. I say little inconvenience, but I don't know, man. It's tough going through those international airports, isn't it? Like, whew, that's, yeah, it's you know, that's not a little inconvenience, Strongo. That's a taking off your shoes. God, don't even get me started. Taking off my shoes, Jesus. The belt. I just don't even wear belts to airports anymore because I can't be bothered taking them off. Anyway, Drongo, that's enough. Get to the game. All right, sorry. All right, where were we? Okay, you know where we're at? We're into a little bit of a samurai switch. Have a look at this. Drongo, that's an Onimusha. Okay, it's an Onimusha, but that's a samurai right there. All right, battering rams going to break their way through. All 3 sacred sites now taken for Faye. Securing a massive lead here as well. Have a look at this. I don't think the issue is like the 30 villages up. The issue is the 4 town centers, right? Like the economic tempo from Faye is mediocre right now, but just wait, okay? Just wait until another 2 or 3 minutes. Faye is just going to be on 140 villages. GUA is going to be half of that. It doesn't look that bad, right? I mean, it looks pretty bad right now, Drongo. It looks pretty bad right now. Faye's taken map control. GUA has finally agreed with Drongo that walls will need to come up. The numbers looking pretty decent. GUA, hold the horses, ladies and gentlemen. GUA has said, actually, yeah, I think we can do something here. Faye's just throwing away. Faye, what is going on? Faye played this opening perfectly, but she's just, when it comes to unit control, it's just like she's thinking to herself, nah, I don't need to control my units. You know, that's what auto attack is for, Drongo. the units auto attack. But look at this behind. Look at this behind. Faye, I think I know why she's not controlling her units. She's freeing up population space for the real threat. It's the samurai. Odachi is through. I can tell you that much. I saw it coming in. Plus 4 damage against your infantry. I reckon she's going for a little bit of a tech switch. What do you think? Have a look at that. 9 barracks now coming down for Faye. Only 1100 food economy though. Leaving a little bit to be desired, I'll be honest with you, Faye. Got to pick that up. How are you only on 1100 food a minute? There's just not a lot of farms. I guess that's probably it, right? Like there's just not a lot of farms. Deletes, have a look at this, and I love this. Deletes the archery range with the Yorishiro inside. You know why? Because she doesn't need the archery ranges anymore. So the Yorishiros will then spawn, so that way you can send it out to wherever you want it to go, like a forge in the back of the base. So good. So good watching Faye on the Japanese. And now Faye teeing off from the top side. Faye looking to take control of this game with the triple mangonel. Huge amount of infantry here. Faye says, come on, you want to fight? Let's do it. I was hiding all along, but now she sprouts like a I was going to say she sprouts like a Brussels sprout. Well, I'm looking for like a flower blooming. That's what it is. Look at the mangonel on the front line. Gosh, you know, these units are meant to counter range units, but there's just a part of me. No. Look at the, oh my lord. You got to watch out for these units. You got to watch out. It's double nested bees against triple mangoes. One of them has gone down though. Second 2 on that backside. Faye now looking to push up. Plenty of samurais here. Big shots. Fair few units going down there off the top rope. The mangoes looking very solid today. And look at the amount of samurais that come through. Mangoes onto the nest of bees. Completely uncontested. No springled inside. He's going to try and get a little bit of damage off to it. But now the third mango joins the army. And have a look at this. With only a handful of units left, Faye still absolutely over the top. Annihilates the army of GUA. That was a massive swing. That was an incredible swing that we just witnessed in favor of Faye. Incredible stuff right there. And have a look at the difference. GUA had an army the size of a big army. That's what he had. And Faye, well, she was rocking like, what, 3 mangonels and a dream? And it turns out she prayed to the right god because, well, her prayers were answers. Who's the god of war? Is it, I want to say, Sun Tzu? I'm just kidding. I know he wrote the book. But seriously, who is the god? Is it Hades? I feel like but isn't Hades hell? Poseidon's water. Zeus is lightning. We know. Come on, we know those ones. Those are easy. They teach you that one in kindergarten. Who's the god of war? I feel like it's Hades. That feels like a name that would be a godly war kind of name. You know what else is godly? Have a look at this. Taganashima Gunsmith coming in for you. Faye. If Faye gets to elite samurai, I don't think Give You Anxiety can win. To win Faye just drops an entire wall the length of the map. She's still got 270 stone left. That right there is impressive. That's a girl right there who does not care about you. It is what the hell? Faye, how do you possibly think that wall is a good idea? That to me, that's insane. That is insane. Because I can be happily behind my own walls just killing your walls. She's going to stick it, though. And I respect just the fact that she's doing it with, what, 6 vills? All right. Fair enough, Faye. You do you. All right. Age up about to come through. Taganashima Gunsmith. So the reason why, if Faye gets to Imperial Age before GUA, it's all over Red Rover. It's because of Samurai with Odachi. You can make crossbows to try and counter them, but they're not. It's not going to work, right? Because the units have too much health and too much armor. But even though they do technically counter them, the problem that you're going to have is that they just lose. In the end, they just lose out. The size of that shot. Jeez. Age ups through. Nest of bees. They all fire at the single Shinto priest. Springald's on the back, looking to take out the mangoes. We'll be able to find connections, but all the nest of bees are just on the front line, just getting rinsed. GUA had no protection, unfortunately, and that's something you hate to see in this situation. And now just cleaning house completely. Keep in mind the Taganashima Gunsmith is going to mean Ozutsu are on the field, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Faye cleaning up as the Imperial Age is reached. What an incredible game coming out there from Faye. Unfortunately for GUA, he just got run around in the end. Didn't scale with the economy, and Faye just played it perfectly in the early game. Go check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Links are in the description. Go say g'day from me. You'll see both of their Twitches down there.